Assalamu alaikum. I am Muhammad ATIKUR Rahman, student of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Begum Rokeya University, Rangpur. Today I will discuss about the duties and responsibilities of power distribution organization in Bangladesh. At first, we need to know that what are power distribution organization. So I show you the definition and the distribution method of power distribution organizations. The power distribution organization is the final stage in the delivery of electric power. It carries electricity from the transmission system to individual consumers. Distribution substations connect to the transmission system and lower the transmission voltage to medium voltage ranging between 2 kV and 35 kV with the use of transformer. History. Here I show you why we created power distribution organizations and how we used electricity before the power distribution organizations are created. Electric power distribution became necessary only in the 1880s when electricity started being generated at power stations. Before that, electricity was usually generated where it was used. The first power distribution system installed in European and US cities were used to supply lighting such as arc lighting running on very high voltage around 3000 volt, alternating current and direct current, and incandescent lighting running on low voltage like 100 volt of direct current. Generation and transmission. Electric power begins at the generating station, where the potential difference can be as high as 33,000 volts. From the generating station, it goes to the generating station switchyard, where a step-up transformer increases the voltage to a level suitable for transmission from 44 kV to 765 kV. Once the transmission system electricity from each generating station is combined with electricity produced elsewhere, electricity is consumed as soon as it produced. It is transmitted at a high speed close to the speed of light. Present generation. Here I show you our present electricity generation capacity in percentage. From that we see that 2% of total electricity are generated from hydro and the same amount 2% from coal, 8% from diesels, 21% from fluorescence oil, and the major amount 62% from natural gases, and the rest of 5% are imported from other countries. Power distribution system. Here I show you the detailed picture of power distribution system. From generating station we use step-up transformer to transfer with high voltage, and in substation we use step-down transformer to lower the voltage and make it usable for the customers. Main steps in power distribution. The electric power system consists of three major components: generation, a high voltage transformation grid, and a distribution system. The high voltage transformation system links the generators to substations, which supply power to user through the distribution systems. Primary distribution. Primary distribution voltage range from 4 kV to 35 kV phase to phase. Only large consumers are fed directly from the distribution voltage. Most utility consumers are connected to a transformer which reduces the distribution voltage to the low voltage. Utilization voltage, supply voltage, and main voltage used by lighting and interior wiring systems. In this slide, I show you another picture of power distribution and transmission systems. In this picture, we see the transmission from various types of power generation sector. It also shows how power distributes to the city network and rural network. Power distribution companies in Bangladesh. The power distribution is done by 6 distribution utilities: BPDP, DPDC, DESCO, West Zone Power Distribution Company, BREB, NESCO. System loss. A major hurdle in efficiency delivering power is caused by the inefficient distribution system. It is estimated that the total transmission and distribution losses in Bangladesh amount to one-third of the total generation, the value of which is equal to 247 million US dollar per year. System loss is one of the key performance indicators. continuous monitoring of the performance of utilities, reforms and target-oriented measures are underway by PowerCell to reduce the system loss. The system loss has come down to 11.23% in 2019 and 2020 from 23.92% in 2001 and 2002. In this slide, I show you the transmission and distribution loss summary in a graph. The graph has three lines. The upper line shows the transmission and distribution loss, and the middle line shows the distribution loss, and the lower line shows the only transmission loss. In the lower line, we see that in 2001, the transmission loss was 4.05% and it came down to 2.91%. And in the middle line, we see that the distribution loss was in 1999 26.09% and that came down to 8.73% in 2019. And the upper line, we see that the total transmission and distribution loss was in 1999 was 31.80% and that came down to 11.23% in 2019. Power sector at a glance. Electricity growth 9%, generation capacity 14,077 megawatt, total consumers 17.8 million, transmission line 9,695 circuit kilometer, distribution line 3,41,000 kilometer, distribution loss 11.36%, per capita generation 371 kilowatt hour, access to electricity 74%. Power transmission system at a glance. The transmission line 4 kilovolt line 165 circuit kilometer and 230 kilovolt line 3172 circuit kilometer and 132 kilovolt line is 6359 circuit kilometer, and the substations 23,818 megavolt ampere. In this slide, I show you the power transmission feature plan in two tables. The first table shows the voltage versus length circuit kilometer and the second table shows the voltage versus capacity megavolt ampere. In this table, we see that the total addition length is 9,269 circuit kilometer and the total addition capacity is 84,195 megavolt ampere.